no tax.
Welcome to this week's edition of World Crisis Radio. This is Webster Tarpley reporting from Washington, D.C. with another very full and rich program for you today. Let's go immediately to the mass strike front. This is, after all, World Crisis Radio, your mass strike headquarters, and we are headed now into a hot autumn with all of the opportunities and dangers that this implies. We've got the backdrop of the Halloween season. Prince Charles has revealed that he is a descendant of Vlad Dracula, the Impaler. So all of our worst suspicions have been confirmed about the British royal family. So the ghouls are everywhere, the austerity ghouls, the 12 tyrants, the Wall Street bankers, and their frontmen, the reactionaries, and I'm afraid the libertarians, too, because that's what they turn out to be. When push comes to shove, they're out there preaching the sanctity of debt. Don't you dare touch the debt. Don't you dare cancel debt. Even the Eurogarchs and Eurocrats have engineered a 50% haircut on the Greek debt for private banks. It's very limited. It's much too small. But at least they conceded the principle. Human society, human civilization takes precedent over the debt. Now, let's look at the events of this past week. Tuesday, October 25th, a big day. We had been agitating, along with many others, for weeks to get programmatic content, fighting working-class demands into the otherwise nondescript programmatic void of Occupy Wall Street, providing program absolute priority. And, of course, we'd run into the stubborn, bitter sabotage resistance of ad busters, the anarchist facilitators, the creepy facilitators in many cases, who were trying to impose their Procrustean bed, their anarchist straitjacket on the movement, that there could be no demands. They were not against this demand or that demand. They were against all demands. Because, of course, if you have demands, you might be co-opted. In other words, you might win your demands. That's what they mean by that. If you make demands, you might win one. And that, of course, we couldn't have that, could we? Soros wouldn't like that. And the left wing of finance capital. So a lot of pressure concentrated, as we've been hearing through direct reports from Wall Street in New York City. A lot of pressure on ad busters. A lot of pressure on this guy, Kalle Lasn, Kallelasn, this guy from the Baltic states. Strange character. Wonder what his political coloration really is. His associate, Mr. Schmaltz. And we've also got now a big article this week, which we'll talk about later if we get a chance, and that's David Graeber, another mind bender. This is an anthropologist who profiles you. This is exactly like Obama. This is exactly the foundation-funded world of anthropologists who are counterinsurgency agents, just like Stanley Ann Dunham, the mother of the current tenant of the White House. So we'll hear about him in a minute. But this clique of anarchists who have, with the help undoubtedly of financing from certain groups of foundations, attempted to sabotage all demands. But by October 25th, the public pressure from the mobilized masses had become so great that on Tuesday, October 25th, the ad busters people said, all right, in response to our critics and given the maturity of the movement, take a look at the article they put up on their ad busters website. In response to our critics, we are coming out for one program point, and it's the Robin Hood tax, as they call it. Robin Hood tax, of course, phraseology dripping with anarchism and so forth. But the key thing was a 1% tax. Now, just to make it clear, this is the Wall Street sales tax. It's a Wall Street turnover tax. It's a sales tax. It's not levied on profits. It's levied on buying and selling, like the sales tax you pay whenever you buy anything, including food, groceries, in many states. So you should know what a sales tax is. The point is that Wall Street, with their quadrillions, their thousands of trillions of dollars, their millions of billions of dollars in turnover, they pay nothing. They pay no sales tax. We want a 1% sales tax. Now, I take it as a personal tribute that they caved to the point of saying a 1% transfer tax, turnover tax, Tobin tax, Wall Street sales tax, or if you must, Robin Hood tax. 1% is my signature amount. So I guess I'm going to claim some credit for forcing these anarchists to cave and inject minimum but critical programmatic content. Now, this is not yet a recovery program, but it's the leading edge. It embodies the principle that we're going to shift the cost of the Depression off the backs of working people. We're going to maintain the social safety net, and we're going to shift that onto the banks. Now, obviously, this needs to be backed up with other demands. We'll get to that in a minute. However, this was a big breakthrough. What happened within 12 hours of that announcement? Police repression comes down. You've got to see the sequence of events. We're talking cause and effect. We must have the ability to observe what is actually happening in front of our noses. On the morning of October 25th, Tuesday, the Adbusters people say, all right, in response to our critics, 1% Wall Street sales tax. Within 12 hours, the police attack in Atlanta. The police attack in Oakland. The police attack in Baltimore. The police then, within 48 to 72 hours, attack in Nashville and other places. This is because once you have that demand, you are a threat. Without the demand, Wall Street, Occupy Wall Street, is a sociological or anthropological curiosity, which this character, David Graeber, can study and manipulate, right, which is what they do, anthropologists being what they are. You become ethnographic material. But when you have a fighting class-based demand, which is the Wall Street sales tax, immediately intelligible, understandable to very, very broad masses, hit them in the labanza, hit them where it hurts, make them pay. They caused the Depression. They're trying to gouge our entitlements and our economic rights. Turn the tables on them. Make them pay. Anybody can understand that. And again, all the more so if you then say what that money is going to go for. This is also indispensable. It goes to the federal treasury, and it's split with the states. So it means there will be no cuts. No cuts. Are you listening, 12 tyrants of the Congressional Super Committee? No cuts in the economic rights of the American people. No cuts in entitlement. For children, we want S-CHIP, Head Start, WIC. For people in general, we want food stamps. 46 million Americans depend on them. We want unemployment benefits for unlimited periods. 99ers, 199ers, 299ers, doesn't matter. Unemployment benefits will be paid, and Wall Street will foot the bill. There's also the question of the student loan amnesty. The part of that that's guaranteed by the federal government will also be paid because Wall Street will cough up the money. And whatever funding has to come out of the seizure of the ceasing of foreclosures also. So all of this happened on Tuesday, October 25th. It is a turning point. You make the demands, you become a real threat to financier rule. And we can say this with a great deal of confidence. A lot of people, unfortunately, are extremely confused about this. Some people say, oh, it's a globalist trap. The Wall Street sales tax is a globalist trap. Let's just take a look and see what the fronts are. It's true. The stars are aligned. This is called winning. Many people have been down so long they don't know what up looks like. This is the winning. Winning is when massive chunks of the finance oligarch, when their machine is split. In other words, you're breaking off chunks of their machine and you're forcing it to raise these demands. Right now, who wants the Wall Street sales tax, Tobin tax as you may call it? France, Germany, European Union, Vatican. Some people say, oh my God, I'm having a crisis. No, that's called winning. The AFL-CIO, don't worry about it. National Nurses United, yes. The stars are aligned for the Wall Street sales tax. Now mobilize and make it a reality. We'll have more in a few minutes.